The internet did not ease into this one, it exploded on impact. One post, one laugh, one reaction from the most ruthless instigator in hip-hop history, and suddenly a marriage once praised as untouchable is being dragged through the mud in real time. Because when 50 Cent reacts, it's never accidental and it's never quiet. And this time, the target is Remy Ma, and the humiliation is allegedly off the charts. Sources say what was whispered behind the scenes has now spilled into the streets. Remy Ma, the same woman who once stood 10 toes down, is now allegedly begging Papoose to take her back. Calling, texting, sending voice notes, showing up unannounced. And the most brutal part? Papoose reportedly isn't even entertaining it because he's allegedly thriving with Clarissa Shields while Remy spirals publicly. Then 50 Cent entered the chat. And that's when it went nuclear. Memes started flying, old clips resurfaced, screenshots spread like wildfire, and 50, in true Petty King fashion, allegedly laughed at the situation like it was prime entertainment. Not defending, not mediating, mocking. And once he did, the internet followed his lead without mercy. Fans are calling it karma. Critics are calling it a downfall. Insiders are calling it worse than anyone realizes. Because if the leaks are real and the messages are true, this isn't just a breakup, it's a public collapse. A power couple dismantled, a queen humbled, and a man who finally chose himself. And the scariest part, they say this is only the beginning. The moment 50 Cent hit post, the temperature of the entire internet changed. Not gradually, instantly. Because when Fif reacts, it's never random and it's never harmless. It's calculated chaos. And this time, his reaction lit a match under a situation that was already soaked in gasoline. What had been quiet rumors suddenly became front-page spectacle. And at the center of it all stood Remy Ma, exposed, embarrassed, and allegedly scrambling behind the scenes while the world laughed in real time. For weeks, fans noticed the signs before the story broke. Remy's social media energy shifted. Less bravado, more cryptic captions, likes on fan comments that felt pointed. Meanwhile, Papoose's presence looked lighter, smiles at events, subtle distance. And then came the whispers that refused to die. The marriage wasn't just strained, it was fractured. Not publicly confirmed, not officially denied, just hovering like smoke you couldn't ignore. Insiders claim the real shift happened when Papoose allegedly stopped responding the way he used to. Short replies, long gaps, missed calls. According to people close to the situation, Remy was used to control, used to being the loudest voice in the room. But suddenly, she wasn't being heard at all. And nothing humbles a person faster than silence from someone who used to wait on every word. That's when the alleged begging started. Not the dramatic, on-camera type. The quiet kind. Late-night calls, emotional voice notes. Messages that went from confident to vulnerable to desperate. Sources say Remy allegedly admitted she messed up, that she underestimated Papoose's loyalty, that she didn't realize how quickly he could detach once trust was broken. And here, where it stung the most, Papoose didn't argue. He didn't yell. He didn't plead back. He reportedly listened and stayed unmoved. Because allegedly, his focus had already shifted. Enter Clarissa Shields. At first, people thought it was a rumor meant to rile Remy up, a distraction, a rebound narrative, but Clarissa didn't move like a rumor. She moved like someone unbothered, confident, and very much present. And according to insiders, that presence sent Remy into a quiet spiral. Because this wasn't just another woman. This was someone accomplished, disciplined, untouchable in her own right. And suddenly, Remy wasn't the prize anymore. The streets noticed before the blogs did. Papoose stopped appearing where Remy was expected. Clarissa showed up where Remy used to stand. And then came the moment that flipped everything from private pain to public humiliation. 50 Cent caught wind of it. Sources say Fif had heard whispers for weeks. He knew Remy was trying to get Papoose back. He knew Papoose wasn't biting. And most importantly, he knew the internet would eat this alive if he nudged it even slightly. So he did what 50 Cent does best. He poked the bear with a smile. A meme here, a caption there, a video reposted with just enough sarcasm to say everything without saying anything. He allegedly laughed about seeing Remy stressed in a way he'd never seen before. And once that laugh echoed, the internet followed like a choir. Old clips resurfaced instantly. Papoose standing by Remy during her lowest moments, visiting her in prison, writing letters, defending her honor when no one else would. Fans stitched those videos next to the new rumors and asked one brutal question. How do you fumble that? Remy's silence only made it worse. According to insiders, she was furious, not just at 50 Cent but at herself. She never expected this to go public, never expected the narrative to flip so violently. She had always been the strong one, the unapologetic one, the one who didn't beg. And now, allegedly, people were laughing at the idea of her doing exactly that. The humiliation wasn't just online, it was personal. Sources claim Remy allegedly tried one last tactic: intermediaries, mutual friends, OGs in the industry, people she trusted to talk sense into Papoose. The message was always the same. She wanted her family back, she was ready to fix it, she didn't want to lose him to someone else. But the response she got back, cold, firm, final. Papoose, according to multiple accounts, wasn't interested in revisiting the past. He was focused on peace. And peace doesn't answer every call. That rejection hit harder than any meme, because at least memes fade. But indifference, that cuts deep. And when Remy allegedly realized Papoose wasn't just angry, he was done, something in her cracked. Then social media smelled blood. Hashtags trended. TikToks reenacted the begging rumors with brutal humor. Comment sections filled with people calling it karma, calling it a lesson, calling it embarrassing. Every like Remy tapped was analyzed. Every post she avoided was dissected. And through it all, 50 Cent kept stirring the pot, posting like he was hosting the messiest show on earth. The most brutal part, Papoose never clapped back. No subtweets, no interviews, no dramatic posts, just distance. And that silence spoke louder than any response ever could. It made the rumors feel real. It made the begging feel plausible. It made the humiliation feel earned in the eyes of the public. Clarissa, meanwhile, stayed calm, confident, almost strategic. According to insiders, she wasn't engaging because she didn't need to. Her presence alone was enough to send a message. And that message was simple. She wasn't worried. By the time 50 Cent reposted a clip of Papoose looking genuinely happy, the narrative was locked in. Remy Ma wasn't controlling the story anymore. The internet was, and it was ruthless. But here, where things take a darker turn. Sources say Remy didn't just lose Papoose, she lost leverage. Industry whispers started circulating. People questioning her judgment, her image, her stability. And when your personal life starts bleeding into your professional one, the fallout doesn't stop at embarrassment. It spreads. And just when everyone thought the story had peaked, an alleged voice note began circulating privately. Not released publicly, yet. A message said to capture Remy at her lowest point, emotional, pleading, asking not to be replaced. If that audio ever surfaces, insiders say it would take this saga from messy to catastrophic. Because humiliation hits harder when it's heard, not just imagined. Right now, the internet is laughing, reacting, choosing sides. But behind the scenes, the stakes are rising. Remy is reportedly running out of moves. Papoose is reportedly unmoved. Clarissa is reportedly unbothered. And 50 Cent? He's watching it all like it's premium entertainment. And the most dangerous part. This is only the opening act. The laughter didn't fade, it multiplied. Once 50 Cent cracked that door open, everybody rushed through it with opinions, theories, and alleged receipts, turning what was once whispered into a full-blown spectacle. And the deeper people dug, the uglier the picture allegedly became. Because behind the memes and jokes, insiders started painting a story that felt far more desperate than funny. According to multiple industry whispers, Remy didn't just wake up one day and decide to fight for her marriage. This had been building, quietly, painfully, for months. Sources claim she sensed the shift before the internet ever did. The emotional distance, the lack of urgency in Papoose's voice, the way he stopped checking in the way he used to. And that's when panic allegedly set in. They say Remy started doing what she never thought she'd have to do: chase. Not in public, not at first, but behind closed doors, the messages reportedly kept coming. apologies that turned into explanations. Explanations that turned into pleas. Pleas that turned into frustration when nothing worked. And the most humiliating detail insiders keep repeating. Papoose allegedly didn't argue back. He didn't list grievances. He didn't threaten. He simply disengaged. That silence broke her. Because Remy wasn't just losing a husband. She was losing the one person who never left when the world turned its back on her. And once that realization hit, sources say her behavior shifted from guarded to frantic. She allegedly started asking mutual friends what Clarissa Shields was like, how serious it was, whether it was just a phase. And when the answers didn't comfort her, she allegedly spiraled harder. Then came the confrontation everyone keeps whispering about. Insiders claim Remy showed up unannounced, hopping for a private conversation. No cameras, no audience, just one last chance to reconnect. But instead of reconciliation, she allegedly walked straight into a wall of indifference. Papoose, according to those close to him, wasn't interested in rehashing old wounds. He had already processed the pain in silence, and silence had healed him faster than arguments ever could. That moment reportedly shattered whatever confidence Remy had left. Because once a man moves on emotionally, no amount of nostalgia can pull him back. And that's when Clarissa's presence stopped feeling hypothetical and started feeling permanent. Photos surfaced of her and Papoose smiling. Comfortable. Calm. No drama. No chaos. Just ease. And ease is addictive after turmoil. Social media immediately chose a side. Clarissa was praised as unbothered, disciplined, glowing. Remy was dragged as reckless, impulsive, and now, allegedly, desperate. Every old interview where Remy talked about loyalty came back to haunt her. Every bar she ever spit about strength was turned into irony. The internet doesn't forgive contradictions, it weaponizes them. And 50 Cent kept fanning the flames. According to sources, he wasn't just posting for laughs. He allegedly knew things he hinted at without confirming. Captions that felt like inside jokes. Reposts that landed too close to home. Fans swore he was signaling that the situation was worse than anyone knew, that Remy's humiliation wasn't just emotional, it was structural. Then came the leaked texts. Not confirmed, not authenticated, but circulating everywhere. Screenshots claiming to show Remy venting to friends, saying she never thought Papoose would actually walk away, that she assumed he'd always be there. The internet tore into that line mercilessly, because assumption in love is often the first mistake. Industry reactions poured in quietly. OGs expressed disappointment behind the scenes. Some reportedly tried to mediate early on, encouraging private resolution. But once 50 Cent dragged it into the open, mediation became impossible. This wasn't about saving a marriage anymore. It was about surviving a public narrative. And the narrative was brutal. Remy allegedly tried to flip it, liking posts, reposting vague quotes about growth and forgiveness, hoping public sympathy might soften Papoose's stance. But the internet read it as manipulation. Every move felt calculated. Every silence felt strategic. And the backlash only intensified. Clarissa, meanwhile, did something that shook Remy's camp to its core. She posted casually, confidently, no subtweets, no drama, just a line about knowing your worth and choosing peace. That post went viral within minutes. Fans crowned her the winner of a battle she never acknowledged she was in. And that quiet confidence reportedly infuriated Remy more than any insult ever could. Because how do you compete with someone who doesn't feel threatened? Behind the scenes, insiders claim Remy began questioning her own image, her brand, her power. She had always been the one people feared, respected, tiptoed around. Now she was being pitied, and pity in hip-hop culture is the kiss of death. Then came another bombshell. A source alleged that Remy tried to float the idea of a public reconciliation, an interview, a joint appearance, a "we worked through it" moment to regain control of the narrative. Papoose allegedly shut it down immediately. No cameras, no statements, no performance. That refusal didn't just hurt, it exposed how far apart they really were. The humiliation deepened when fans noticed something subtle but telling. Papoose stopped defending her. For years, he had been her shield, her protector, the one who shut down rumors and critics. Now, nothing, and that absence screamed louder than any diss track. 50 Cent noticed too. He allegedly reposted another clip, this time of Papoose speaking about peace, growth, and self-respect from an old interview. No caption, no context, just enough to let the internet do the rest. And the internet did exactly that, flooding timelines with comments praising Papoose for choosing himself and dragging Remy for taking that loyalty for granted. By now, the situation wasn't just messy, it was irreversible. Remy's camp reportedly tried damage control, leaking stories that painted her as misunderstood, emotional, human. But the internet wasn't interested in nuance. It had already chosen a villain and a victor, and Clarissa's silence only cemented her position as unbothered royalty. Then came the whisper that sent chills through Remy's inner circle. An alleged recording, a voicemail, something raw, emotional, something that captured Remy in a moment she never expected to be heard. Not released yet, but insiders swear it exists, and if it ever surfaces, it would change the tone from gossip to outright devastation. Because there's nothing more humiliating than the world hearing you beg, after you built your reputation on never needing anyone. Right now, Remy is reportedly cornered, every move scrutinized, every option shrinking. Papoose is reportedly firm, Clarissa is reportedly staying. And 50 Cent? He's watching it all unfold with a grin that suggests he knows the next chapter will be worse. Because in stories like this, the second act is always darker than the first. And the worst part, the real breaking point hasn't even happened yet. By the time the third wave hit, the internet wasn't laughing anymore, it was waiting. Waiting for the moment when the whispers turned into something undeniable. Waiting for the clip, the message, the slip that would finally confirm what everyone already felt was true, because the energy had shifted. This was no longer jokes and memes. This was tension. And tension only exists when something is about to snap. Behind the scenes, insiders say Remy's world had narrowed to one goal: regain control. Not of Papoose, that door was allegedly sealed, but of the narrative. Because losing a man is one thing, losing the story is another. And right now, the story wasn't just writing itself, it was dragging her. Sources claim Remy tried to go quiet, logged off, pulled back, let the noise die down. But the silence didn't help. It made people more curious. Fans refreshed her page looking for signs. Every absence became a headline. Every delay became suspicion. And when someone lives in the spotlight long enough, disappearing only makes the spotlight hotter. That's when the alleged voicemail rumor resurfaced, louder. Not just it exists, but who has it. According to multiple whispers, the audio wasn't leaked randomly. It was shared privately, played for select people who then told other people, and the descriptions matched too closely to ignore. A voice cracking, regret spilling out, a plea not to be replaced, not to be erased. Insiders say the audio doesn't paint Remy as evil, it paints her as human. And that's exactly why her camp is terrified of it going public. Because vulnerability hits harder than arrogance. At the same time, Papoose's energy stayed steady, calm, controlled. According to people close to him, he wasn't celebrating Remy's downfall. He wasn't mocking her. He was simply done explaining himself. Years of loyalty had hardened into boundaries, and boundaries don't negotiate. Clarissa's presence only reinforced that finality. She didn't speak on Remy, didn't acknowledge the chaos. She just lived, posted workouts, career wins, moments that looked peaceful. And every post sent the same unspoken message: this is what moving on looks like. Fans praised her restraint like it was a masterclass. And the more unbothered she appeared, the more Remy's alleged desperation became the focus. Then 50 Cent escalated. Not with a direct attack, with implication. He reposted an old clip of himself laughing, captioned with a line about people never appreciating loyalty until it's gone. No names, no tags, but everyone knew. And once again, the internet followed his lead, stitching his post with Remy's past interviews, her old bars, her public confidence. The contrast was brutal. Industry insiders say that's when things turned professional. Meetings, conversations, quiet distancing. People don't like unpredictability, and public humiliation makes brands nervous. According to whispers, a few opportunities went cold. Not canceled, paused. And in this business, a pause is a warning. Remy wasn't just dealing with heartbreak. She was facing consequences. Meanwhile, Papoose was reportedly offered opportunities of his own. Interviews, appearances, narrative control. He allegedly declined most of them, not because he didn't have something to say, but because saying nothing was working just fine. Silence had turned him into the calm center of the storm, and the calmer he stayed, the worse Remy looked by comparison. Then came the alleged final attempt. Sources claim Remy reached out one last time, not to beg, but to apologize. No blame, no manipulation, just acknowledgement. And for a moment, people close to the situation believed there might be closure. Not reconciliation, but peace. But whatever response came back was brief, respectful, final. The kind of message that ends chapters without slamming doors. That was the moment insiders say Remy finally understood. This wasn't a phase. This wasn't leverage. This wasn't something she could outmaneuver. She had lost not because she was weaker, but because she underestimated the cost of breaking trust with someone who never broke it with her. The internet, sensing blood in the water, went all in. Montages of Papoose's loyalty trended. TikToks reenacted Remy's alleged begging with savage humor. Comment sections debated whether karma had come full circle. And through it all, Remy said nothing. Not because she didn't want to, but because anything she said would only add fuel. And then, just when it felt like the story had reached its end, another rumor began circulating. A live appearance, a public moment, a setting where Remy and Papoose might cross paths again, not by choice but by circumstance. Industry event, mutual connections, same room, same night, nothing confirmed, just enough to make people hold their breath. Because if that happens, there's no edit button. No captions, no spin, just body language, and body language never lies. Will Papoose look past her? Will Remy hold her composure? Will Clarissa be present? And will 50 Cent, the ever-watchful instigator, comment the second it happens? That's where this stands. A woman fighting to reclaim dignity. A man protecting his peace. A new chapter that refuses to be overshadowed. And a crowd watching, recording, reacting. Because in hip-hop, reputation is everything. And right now, reputations are being rewritten in real time. The only question left is this. Does the alleged voicemail stay buried? Or does it surface and turn humiliation into history? Either way, this saga isn't ending quietly. It's waiting for one more moment to explode. If you're still watching right now, understand this. You're already deeper in this story than most people even realize. This isn't just messy celebrity gossip anymore. This is a real-time power shift, and the next move could flip everything we think we know. Moments like this don't rewind. They don't get cleaned up later. They explode, and only the people paying attention from the beginning understand how it really went down. That's why you cannot click away now. Hit like immediately, because engagement decides which stories get pushed forward and which ones get buried on purpose. Subscribe right now, because when the next update drops, a leaked clip, a surprise appearance, or that rumored audio everyone keeps whispering about, it won't come with a warning. It'll hit fast, and the internet will move even faster. Turn notifications on, not later. Now, because this saga is still unfolding, and once it crosses the line from rumor to confirmation, you'll want to hear it first, not secondhand, not clipped, not twisted by someone who missed half the context. And drop your thoughts in the comments. Be honest. Do you think this is really over? Is silence the final word, or is it just the calm before another storm? Was loyalty taken for granted, or is the internet going too far this time? And if that alleged voicemail ever surfaces, who do you think it helps, and who does it finish? Because one thing is clear, this story isn't cooling down, it's loading. Stay locked in, stay alert. You do not want to miss what happens next.